I'm so glad you made it. Thank you for being here. Thank you
Hi.
for being here. Yeah. So this is a real treat for you all too. Kim is with us. Josh, is there anything that you want to say first? Because I know you and Kim, you guys are pretty tight. Is there anything you want to share as we
Yeah, she's my bestie from Texas. So yeah, she's amazing. She's the founder and CEO of Teaching Inside Out. She does amazing work with SEL. She's gonna be mad because I have Mitch's book up right now. I'm gonna flip this. So Mitch, who's watching, he's in the crowd. I know this is gonna be heartbreaking for him, but I need to make sure that I have Becoming the Bison up. And she does amazing work. She's a speaker. She has a brilliant community. We have an event that we're going to talk about too. That's in Anaheim, California, called the Vibe EDU event. And of course, Kim does amazing work all over this country. So I don't want to spend too much time because the laundry list is long as far as how amazing this person is. So, Kim, thank you so much for being a part of the Student Behavior Summit.
Guys, I'm so happy to be here. I know I saw Mitch in the in the chat. He's like, really? Here, we'll give you a shout out. I got your book right here. Here, baby. Here, and I got blue nails for you.
He's going to get lots of screen time. I have it behind me often. In fact, Mitch, someone saw your book and is actually going to feature it in a new story because it was behind me. So I'm just saying, we're giving you a lot of love today, but it's Kim's time. So,
My time to
Kim,
shine.
it's your time to shine. Awesome. So I'm gonna dive in because you have some just amazing things that you're doing. But I just want to talk about the work that you're doing. First off, will you just talk about your community first? Because I think this is really needed for a lot of educators. I think a lot of folks may be on social media, they may be having maybe a small community within their own building, but sometimes there's a lot of folks that are seeking more. And being on the outside, but kind of on the inside also of your community and seeing the brilliance there, I'd love for you just to talk about why you even built that and what the benefit has been for so many people that have taken advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in Southern California, I was a classroom teacher. I taught first grade, moved up to the district office, thought I had my dream job there. And then when I moved out to Texas, I was thinking, well, the first thing I want to do is build what I had out there. I want these teachers to feel supported. I want to be able to give them their next steps when they are dealing with big behaviors. I want to be able to run alongside them. I want them to feel like they can reach into their back pocket and attach onto me, ask questions, and I want to be able to give them support. And I also want to connect educators from across the country. So the first thing I did was build my first company, which was Celebrate Good Times with an SEL, like social emotional learning. And it's just become the most incredible community of teachers. It's for the teachers who, as I say, and the book says in the back cover, it says for the teachers who stay late and care too much. It's the ones who feel like they're doing this work alone. Recently, I had a teacher fill out an application for the community, and she is a brand new teacher. And she's like, I already kind of feel like I'm abandoned. And I was thinking, oh, girl, no, 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 no. There's a space for you. So we meet monthly, 2 times over Zoom. We are attached on Voxer, our app that we use weekly, daily. I mean, you should see my Voxer just this morning was ding, 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 in multiple cohorts of groups. And I also do teacher retreats. So we just went out to New Mexico. It's just a time where you get to be the human that you really are behind that teacher that you go into every single school day. So, yeah, it's a beautiful space where you get exactly what you need. You do feel that sense of I feel seen, I feel heard, but I'm also getting the action steps that I need to pull me forward. And my favorite quote from one of my teachers is that she didn't feel like not just her classroom was changed, but she was changed as a human. And every single year we get more and more of that being said. And that's what's so special about the community. So yeah, they're amazing.
They
Amazing.
are
From
amazing.
New Jersey to Washington, South Dakota, Iowa, Chicago, Texas, California, and everywhere in between. I mean, it's a beautiful space for the good ones.
So, Kim, you actually go on site a lot. I mean, you go actually into the classroom and you're supporting teachers. And so, because it's a student behavior summit, I'd love to kind of really kind of hone in on the student behavior component of that. So, what are some things that you maybe have seen often that you're like, let's massage this and maybe change the strategy a little bit to help manage student behavior a little bit differently than what you're actually observing?
Okay. So it's interesting. Like as Darren was talking, I was writing down notes, kind of going, this is, I think, where the conversation should go because after Dr. Bean was talking about leadership and Darren definitely has his, middle school, high school lens on, I was thinking, well, I'm with like the barf and the snot and all that. Like that's what I get to go to. So it's elementary. I mean, we're teaching into the lagging skills of kids here. That's what we're doing. And we're not expecting them to behave a certain way. The lens needs to kind of shift with teachers to kind of go, oof, what's missing? What can I teach into? So some of my favorite things are, is it like a circle of control sort of a thing? Do kids, are they coming up to you and they're tattling? They're like, oh, Mrs. Gameroz, Mitch took my pencil again. And Josh, he won't stop looking at me. Like, is that what's going on? Is it size of the problem type stuff? Like, that's a glitch. It's okay. You're in control of you, circle of control. Off you go. Or is it like a medium problem sort of a thing where it's like, oh, you need some assistance in tying your shoes or whatever that is. Or fixing your paper or finding the tape or remember the Kleenex is over there. Ask a peer. That's a medium problem. Or is it a big problem where you need support from the teacher? Is it the blood and the barf and the guts and all that stuff? Like you need me, right? Was there punching? Was there shoving, right? You need an adult. So I was thinking teaching into those conversations, what do? You need some sort of visual, perhaps you need a picture book, and then you also need the language, right, to go along with it. One of my favorite, I'll say anchor charts, because I know we're going to talk about freebies, and I know that's coming up. But my favorite anchor charts or visuals or conversation starters, truly in the classroom is always, it's just a T chart. How do you want to feel at school? And what do we need to do in order to feel that way? And I think as I go into more and more classrooms, I hear from teachers like it's just everything about the student. I need to teach them, right? And they don't feel like they're part of that conversation. But really, it's you start with you first. How do you want to feel? When we're talking about culture, how do you want to feel in your classroom? I want to feel respected. I want to feel safe, right? I want to feel loved. Well, great. And then kids can also say, how do you want to feel? I want to feel empowered. I want to feel confident, right? And all those other words, put them all on one side, how they want to feel. And then that other side, well, what are we as a classroom? What are we going to do about it? What can I do to ensure that you feel safe in this classroom? What can I do to make sure that you feel confident in what I'm teaching you? And what can your peers do too? And those types of conversations, you go back to them. You set goals around them, right? I will blank so I can blank, right? I will use walking feet so I can feel safe or we can feel safe in this classroom. But it's that intentional stuff that is missing usually. And so teachers come to me and are like, it's just crazy. We've got all these behaviors. I don't know what to do, but it's okay, really honing in on what's the first conversation we need to have. How can we create a goal around that? How can we go back to that? How can that become a system in our classroom? And how can I continue this all day long? It's not just a one and done.
All right, so let's talk about that beautiful book behind you.
Hmm.
So what is Becoming the Bison all about, and how can that actually be something that helps with classroom challenges?
Hmm. So when I first started business, I had an incredible coach because you have to have a coach when you don't know what you're doing. So I hired a coach and she was like, Kim, you are such a bison. Have you heard of this bison mentality sort of a thing? And I was like, no, tell me more. And what she said was, bison head into the storm. Cattle, they run away. And I was like, ooh, we're going somewhere with this, right? Because I was thinking in a classroom setting, you always have storms. Some storms you don't even know are on the horizon. And in life as a parent, oh my gosh, right? Like my son just broke his arm and is in a cast and had surgery just a few weeks ago. Never would have known that storm was coming, but you continue to head into them. You cannot run away. part of it also is you do it with your herd, you do it with your people. And so I just loved this whole idea of the bison mentality, growth mindset, grit, perseverance. I mean, everything that we want to try to teach our students and our children, that was all wrapped into it. And then I kept on honing in on that one word, intentional, because the things that I teach, the things that we're all doing in our classrooms are very intentional things so that we can create that sense of safety and sense of belonging and show kids that they matter. I mean, that's why we're doing this. And so I created that acronym, Be Intentional So Others Notice. That's your BISON. And it's really doing things intentionally, and others can't help but truly notice those things. So when somebody walks into your classroom and says, wow, it feels so calm in here, you go, yeah, I was doing all of these things intentionally to create that sense of calm in my classroom. And that's what I, in the book, go through as a leader, the things that you do, as an educator, the things that you do, and also as a parent, because we're all in this together. And that's how we're going to continue to pull forward, is finding our herd. So that is Becoming the Bison. Starts with you first.
Does. I'm going to touch on something you said because you were talking about teachers that may be feeling, especially right now, overwhelmed by student behavior, or maybe they're triggered or burnt out. What is something that they can do that's going to be a shift that they can do immediately that's going to start to show up? Well, they can show up differently each day because of the shift.
I think it's a mindset shift. It truly is. Of you need to teach social and emotional skills. You can't expect them. And I think when we start to really think about that, then all of a sudden it's like, am I expecting them to just do what I want them to do? Am I expecting them to walk in line? Am I expecting them to just sit there and attend to me? Am I expecting that? Because really, we need to teach them how. I mean, just this past week alone, my intention for one of my cohorts for our community was it was all around awareness. And it was like, you guys, are you as the adult even aware of, like, when you move your face a certain way, when somebody says something, like it affects the thoughts and feelings of the people around you, which affects how they're going to treat you and react towards you, which is going to affect how, you feel about yourself. Are you even aware as an adult? And so can we expect awareness from kids, or are we teaching them how to be aware? And that is that mindset shift where it's like, oh my gosh, like, kid, are we expecting them to just sit there and listen to you? Or are you going to teach them this is what it looks like to listen with your heart? This is what it looks like to listen with your shoulders. When somebody is speaking to you, it looks like this. You have to actually teach into that. And so it also, I mean, I think of Dr. Ross Green all the time. His work around, like, is it kids do well if they can, or is it kids do well if they want to? And so really, what mindset do you have around that? Is it kids do well if they can, if they have the skills, right? Or is it kids do well if they want to? I'm expecting it. And so really that phrase, teach social emotional skills, don't expect them, which is trademarked. Yes, Mitch, you can laugh. Josh, you can laugh. Yep, I'll trademark all the things here and make them a shirt and make them a sticker, which it is. But it's the truth. It really is. And I think if that could be your one mindset shift, then that kind of changes the game. You can be calmer. You can be that calm voice and calm presence in the classroom when you stop expecting kids to act a certain way and you start teaching into the lagging skills.
I want to talk about that culture piece because you mentioned tying in with Darren Peppard, our last guest. So, as far as a teacher and seeing it now, as far as our leadership goes, what do you feel like leaders need to do to change that culture so teachers do feel supported? They feel like they're bringing enough every single day, that they're growing in their work and not just surviving each day.
I mean, well, first thing, buy them a ticket to Vibe EDU. No plug there or anything.
They definitely need to do that. We'll talk more about that a bit too.
I'm just thinking, you want all voices to be heard. You really, truly do. I mean, I was talking to a teacher today who was so frustrated, and she did say, don't talk about this on the Vibe EDU podcast, but here I am at your summit talking about it. She was like, how can I fix like curriculum stuff in my across my school. Like nobody's doing the things the same way, and everybody's kind of following their own plan, and nobody's voice is really heard. And I was like, well, speak up and say that, and then come up with a solution together. You really need to. So I think when you're talking about, school culture and from a leadership standpoint, it is you got to run with your people. And it's not just like a top down sort of a thing. It is a grassroots sort of a thing. It is listening to their voices, and it's taking action in the way that really supports them. It's moving everybody forward. That's, I mean, easier said than done, but that's what they're looking for there. They're asking for their voices to be heard, right? For you to sit there and empathize with them and go, okay, and now what can I do to support you in that work? What can we all do for you forward?
So you brought up Vibe BDU, the event
Yeah.
in Anaheim, California. So do you want to talk about how that is a support system and what the event's all about?
I want you to, because it's one thing coming from me. I know I always go back to you just because this is why it is my event. I created this because I knew that it was what was missing in education. I knew that. And I knew that professional development needed to be flipped on its head. It needed to feel different. And so I already knew because I'd already been dreaming about it and creating it and living and breathing in it in my brain. But you had no idea what you were walking into. So you tell me.
I was just excited because I got to hang out with Mitch.
You-
No, no, it was awesome. It was awesome. There was a lot of individuals there that were extremely passionate, super excited. The energy was really extensive, and I really would love for you to talk through the format because I think that's very different than your typical conference. And I think when people think of an educational event, they have kind of this preconceived idea or they have an experience that they were a part of before, and this is far different. And so it was great to be a speaker there, but it was also nice to be an attendee, seeing the difference. And yeah, I'm going to throw it back to you, Kim, because this is the Kim Gameroz section of the summit. But why is it different, and what was your goal behind that? Because I mean, it's Vibe EDU, and there is a serious vibe when you're in attendance.
So the venue, we can start there, is a beautiful space. It is right across from the Honda Center. It is like all open, beautiful glass ceiling. And at nighttime, it's all lit up with like hot pink, love, just like Becoming the Bison, and purple. But the part that I love the most about that venue is that there are no doors and no walls once you're in there. And so you do feel this sense of community and togetherness right off the bat. The other thing is, and I'm big about this, it is all about conversations, not presentations. I think so often when we go to professional development, teachers just check their brains out because there's like a slide deck in front of them, or they just know that they are going to get the copy of the slides later. So they're on their computer and they're doing other things. And I really wanted the attendees to be able to be part of the conversation. Come with your questions because these people, these speakers that we've selected, are going to give you real answers. They're going to give you action steps that you can take the very next day. I mean, I know a group from Northern California flying in to Southern California, and this principal was like, it's perfect. It happens on a Friday night. I got my VIP tickets for Saturday, and then school starts on Monday. And she was like, game on, let's go. This is what we need to start the school year strong. But it is a vibe. There are flowers everywhere. It's a beautiful stage with a backdrop. I mean, it'll look a little bit different this year. I've already been with the creative team, but I just wanted it to feel good. I wanted educators to walk in and go, this is how it should feel. Like, not quite a cocktail party, but almost a little bit. Just a space where you can walk in, take
Yeah.
a deep exhale, and then sit down and just enjoy yourself. Because like you can't force a kid or force an adult to learn something. It can be like, sit there and learn, right? But you're more open to learning new things when you feel safe, you feel like you can be vulnerable. And that's the whole idea but behind it. I can't wait for this year. And I know everybody that's already bought their ticket is just like giddy because they found their herd. They found their people to run with and to be able to connect teachers again from all across the country who are flying in. It's not just a Orange County, California crew. Like it isn't. And I love how Dr. Bean was here because I was thinking, we're in your neck of the woods. Your teachers are flocking in. Your principals are coming. Your district leaders are coming. They already have their tickets. And it's so special to know that he was part of this, this summit today, but it extends far beyond just Orange County, California. And so I'm so excited to bring everybody together.
We're so connected, Kim, with all these different folks. So I'm going to throw in just a second as I pivot, I'm going to put in your free resource. And you had touched on it, but these are anchor charts that you're providing as a free resource. I know you're a huge believer. You shouted from the mountaintops as far as this resource. So how can people use this and why is it so important for them to grab this free bundle?
Okay, so I do like conversations, not presentations, but visuals are everything. So when you're speaking to littles for little kinders, TK, all the way up through high school, if you're going to have an intentional conversation with your students, you must have a visual because what ends up happening, and this is already happening with our teachers, and I love around this time of school year because they will end up saying the same thing, which is, I started having the conversation with the kid and they're looking at me like, uh-huh, and then they're filling in the rest of the sentence like they knew exactly where I was going because we've been intentional. These conversations never go away. There's always a structure to it. And there is this thing they can grasp onto to make that movie in their mind so that it really does stick. So there's things like the social emotional chain reaction. There's things like the social filter, circle of control is in there, that T chart is in there. But you want, as the adult, you want to know where to go with these conversations. You need the visual too, because once you're in it and you're standing up there with your crew of 30 plus or whatever it looks like, you need some anchors. You need to have an example so that you don't start wandering because otherwise it's not going to happen and you want it to be effective. So I think there's 24 visuals in there. You just put your email address in there and it will be sent to you right away. It's just a Google Drive of like a folder of like all the pictures of them. And they're just ones that I've done because I know you need. Those are the ones that I'm giving you, not the fluff. It's not like, when you go on Pinterest and you get lost in all of the visuals and all of the anchor charts and you start pulling and going and you always feel like you need more. These are your anchors. These are like the 24 core ones that you need over and over and over again. Don't go out to the Pinterest land. This is the stuff that actually teaches those social and emotional skills. It's the root. This is the stuff. So that's my freebie.
Charlie, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, I just wanted to share that it is incredibly important to keep things simple. And it is incredibly important that Kim just wrapped it up like that because we are so overwhelmed that if we try to do too much, there's no way we're getting anything done. So I appreciate the story you shared at the very beginning. I appreciate your book. I appreciate the work that you're doing with Josh and Mitch and Vibe and everything that you have brought to us. I'm just glad you're sharing it with everybody, So I appreciate you being here, Kim.
Of course, I think it just like so many, I saw you, Charlie, like nodding when I was like going to Pinterest and like you can feel that you already know like that's what teachers are doing. And
Yeah.
so we don't need more in our
Mm.
brain, right? I know I think of Mitch often. I know I say this now too. It's just like the knowing is in the doing. You have to take action. You have to be consistent. You have to be intentional about it. And those are the things that are in that freebie, those anchor charts, those visuals. It's not the fluff and stuff. There's too many conferences, there's too many podcasts where they like spin in circles around things. No, I want you to look at it and then go, oh, I can do that tomorrow. That's what I want. So that's why I created it.
That's right. That's why we love this, because this is exactly what we need. We need people to be able to go and utilize these resources so that they can love their job. And by the way, that will help them love their life. My goodness. So I truly appreciate it. So is there anything else, Josh, that we need to do to wrap this up with Kim? I know that there's a million things we could do with you, Kim.
Yeah, I want to talk to Kim like the rest of the night, but I know we have some phenomenal folks that we need to get to also. But Kim, will you just talk about where they can connect with you on social media? You had talked about podcasts. You have a brilliant podcast yourself. Obviously, I get to be a part of another podcast project with you, which is VibEDU. And then, of course, how folks can connect with you.
Yeah, so I'm a big Instagram girly, and I recently changed my OG handle. It was the scariest thing ever, but here we go. Guess what it is? It's just my name. At Kim
Okay.
Gameroz, that's who it is. It's me, the girl behind it all. So Instagram there, or also teaching inside out, but there's underscores in between those. We've been doing a lot of stuff around VibEDU out over there. Kim Gameroz is mostly community. It's inspiration, it's motivation, it's just knowing that you don't have to do any of this alone because you're not meant to. So choose your pathway there. And then as far as websites, Teaching Inside Out really has everything. So teachinginsideout.com. There's two podcasts, so you can choose your pathway. There's the Vibe EDU podcast, which is myself, Josh, Mitch, and our guy TJ Berry. It is a good time over there. However, it is very structured. We do 4-part series on different things: behavior, executive functions, social emotional learning, leadership, professional development. And then we do mailbags where teachers get to write questions in and we, kind of just go off or do a rant or whatever. So it's fun. The four of us have a really good time. So if you're looking for something like that, go there. And then I have my spin off of Becoming the Bison. The podcast is called Unleashing the Bison. And it is just if you're in the car and you're like going to school thinking, I don't know if I can do this just one more day, right? Go there. Go there, listen to my voice. It's like a 15-minute, this is what you need now. And every single episode is very intentional. And just recently, we've been dropping out some of the recordings from last year's Vibe EDU. So the first one is our MC from last year, Dr. Richard Warren. And already I've been getting messages saying, I want to give you your flowers because this was like his whole thing was like, give everybody their flowers now. And so now I'm getting emojis on Voxer from all the teachers giving each other flowers. It's like the best thing when it gets to continue to live on. So head to that podcast. And I also have a Facebook group, Becoming the Bison. I always try to post things that are going to give teachers just an easy, I could do that tomorrow, right? That stuff mixed in with this is what's going on in the community. So even just today, I posted a 4th grade teacher up in Washington. She had created a jar that was just like, you've been noticed. And she put at the top, it said chips salad, which is literally every single kid just brings a bag of chips and then you like mush it all together and each kid gets like a, mixed bag of chip salad. But inside the jar, anytime they were noticed for showing expected behavior or anything from anyone, librarian, noon duty supervisor, something that happened in the classroom. Me, I noticed something even like on a Zoom or whatever, they would write a compliment in the jar and the teacher would write it or a student would write it. And just like the amount of teachers that could just look at that in a Facebook group and go, oh, I think I want to try that. Like those types of things are in there. So yeah, I've got what you want. I got it for you.
Hey, Kim, I have an extra book of yours and I'd like to give it away
Yes.
because I have a signed copy and one with fancy paper. I won't pull it out right now. That's beautiful over on the side beyond the one that's behind me. But for those who are here right now, is there something that you would like them to email Charlie so that they can win your book?
You know what? Let's do you do a book and I'll do a book. We'll do two.
Perfect. Two people.
Why don't you biggest takeaway, I like that. The biggest
Yeah.
takeaway is something that you might try immediately, right? Like
Okay.
is it an anchor chart? Is it an idea? Is it a mindset shift? Is it I'm going to a podcast? Like what is it? and I'll send them one too. I love that.
Perfect. Okay. Well, that's 2 people. So make sure that you are emailing Charlie. And Charlie, if you don't mind, will you throw your email address in the chat? And then we'll make sure that we find 2 winners. We'll let you know. We'll email you back that you won. Of course, we'll get your address. And then Kim will send you a copy.
Yeah.
And then I will send a copy. And everyone's going to win. That's awesome. So with that, Kim, thank you so much. You are brilliant. I'm so fortunate not only to be connected with you, Charlie, are so fortunate to have you here today for the summit and you providing so much value. So thank you, my friend.
I adore you guys.
Thanks, Kim. Appreciate it.